Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're returning. I've got some coffin tips on here. I have done probably 4 or 5 sets since here, so I don't remember. These are, I think, VBP XXL coffin. This is the first brush that I'm going to be using for this application. I'm doing white nails. I want a milky white color, a little bit lighter than milky white, with white Frenchies and purple bling. I've mentioned this on my channel before, but when I have done white on white before, I used white and not milky white. And I realized that that wasn't the right color. So this is not milky white. This is not NOTPOLISH. This is a brand that there's a certain time or a certain way that white on white Frenchies look that I see and have been seeing for a couple of years that catches my eye. Where when the application is done, the white almost looks a little bit gray. I can't explain it better than that. It's just, as soon as you put the white French on it, it looks a certain way. And I loved the look. Couldn't replicate it with milky white. I'm not a fan of mixing acrylics like, oh, take some milky white and add clear to it. I know a lot of people do that and have great success with it, but I just can never blend it well enough in their separation, even when it's white and clear. And I don't know, when I've tried doing that, it wasn't the best. And anyway, I remember, excuse me, trying to find out what acrylic this was that I kept seeing Frenchies look the way they did with this white. And I learned what it was, learned what the name of it was, what brand, everything, and I bought it. And I have been intending to do it since. So although I've had this jar of acrylic for, I don't know, a minute, maybe, I mean a year or less. I don't want to say 6 months because I know it was before Tucson. So before I left Tucson sometime. So not a year or less. Haven't been able to use it yet. Have tried this brand before, certainly, but have not done this set in particular. So I wanted you guys to hear all of that, to notice that I'm using Kairose monomer, my Kairose brush, same as always, same table towels, same temperature in my room, same everything. And I am not showing the brand or telling you what it is until later, because I was shocked. I cannot understand what was going on here. So, and you have to work with different acrylics differently. Some dry quicker, some you have to work with wetter, some are chalky and you have to work smaller, and there's just a million different ways, and I get that. But as you can see, after this finger is done, the thumb looks like my regular application. I could already tell by the time I was finished with this thumb how I needed to work with this acrylic. Smaller and a little bit wetter. It was drying a little bit quick, and using large beads were not working out. Well, it's not that it wasn't working out. I could just tell right away that I needed to work smaller and a little bit wetter. And that's fine. Young nails is like that. That's another acrylic that you have to work with that way. And I actually don't mind it. You know, a quicker setting acrylic. Don't mind that at all. You guys, I went through 5 or 6 brushes to do these 5 fingers because my brush was getting so dirty. My monomer was getting so dirty. I literally could not use one brush for the application. Just to me, I don't want to say what I'm actually thinking because, I mean, it's just not, I just couldn't believe it. I actually sent a sample of this to a friend to say, I need you to blind taste test this. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I want you to do application on like at least 3 fingers. With your regular scenario, your same regular brush. And I also want you to tell me what your table towel looks like when you're finished, because I'm going to show you guys my table towel. And I just don't know how, let me rephrase that. I'm curious how, okay, I've seen some nail techs that work exclusively with this brand. I like several products from this brand. I have purchased other products. I have probably 6 or more of their cover acrylics that I've used in sets. I've used on clients. I'm getting ready to speed this up now because it's just wide application. So I know how the product works. I know it's not bad. I know that their pigment, their colored acrylics are more pigments. I think recently they've been coming out with buildable, like NOTPOLISH is. That's my assumption, although I haven't bought them, so I'm not positive on that. They have a great reputation with a lot of their other products, but you can see here that I'm just definitely building with smaller, wetter beads, and it's going fine. This thumb looks like all my other applications. It doesn't look like I need to take a coarse bit and completely change the shape of it because wow, right? No, my application looks fine, and I'll show you in a minute. I'm still on my first brush here, but this is about the biggest bead that I could get, which again is fine. But yeah, I was just really surprised by this. So I don't know if it's just this color because there's a lot of clear in it, and their clear is not a good quality. That is kind of what I was getting from this. If you were to ask me, well, what is the difference between this one, their covers, and their colored acrylics? I would have to say, after using it, that it has a lot of clear in it, obviously because it's a sheer, almost a jelly acrylic, but buildable. Sorry, there are frogs. It's been raining and raining here. If you hear that, those are frogs, guys. Pardon me. I would say all the clear that is in it is gritty and sticks to your brush, dirties your monomer, and makes your table towel yellow, and I'm surprised by that. So, anyway, I want you guys to check this out. So, how is everyone doing? I'm so glad that I was able to get my nail room tour out for you guys. I want to say finally, but really, it didn't take me too long. I only moved here, what, February? 3 months to get moved in, get everything organized, and tour it up for you guys. So, I feel like I've been taking a long time, but it wasn't that bad, I don't think. Here's my second brush, and I am only on, is this the second or third finger? I don't remember, but since this brush is small, it got dirty quick, and you guys have never seen me do this because this has not happened to me, and you'll probably never see it again, but my brush was hardened. There was acrylic stuck in it to where I had to put it away. Now, my Kairose guide that I was just using was getting dirty, and it was starting to annoy me. Yeah, I'm on my second finger. And it was starting to annoy me, so I put it away because I could just tell it was just getting dirty. This one, I put it away because it was already dirty after those few beads because it's a small brush. So I'm on brush 3 already. This is the same size as the first one I was using. It's exactly the same except it's a different color. So this is a Kairose 8 as well. So I have those other 2 brushes soaking. So I think I bring them back out. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that as it was going so that you guys can kind of pay attention and notice, you know, like the brush switching. And just the difference in application. Again, it wasn't even, you can see when I'm laying that bead, if you want to take it back a second, you can see the grit in the top of my brush. Yeah, this was just, what is going on here is what I kept thinking. So anyway, let's get off that topic. The nail room tour, thank you guys for all the love on that video. Appreciate it so much. After this set, and I might get the order wrong, gosh, I don't even know if I remember. I have the nails that I'm wearing now, which, let me see. Okay, I went back to this. No, I have 2 of these brushes. So this is actually the 4th brush. This is a brand new one that I have not used yet, even though it looks similar. The purple nails that I put on, I have that video for you. I put a permanent set on myself. Typically by day 2, this is why I don't put permanent sets on myself anymore, is because typically by day 2, I don't care what kind of bright idea I have. I don't care if the idea is, okay, I'm going to do all nude because I know I want to change them in 2 days and I don't want to damage my nails and woo, woo, woo. No, they're coming off. They're just 100% of the time I can't keep nails on because I'm always too impatient to do a new set. I get a new idea. As soon as I'm done with them, I think, oh, I should have done blank. So that's just why I don't wear them mostly. That's the main reason. the other reason is, then what am I going to do sets on? What about content? And content isn't all of it. It's what am I going to do sets on? Okay, a practice hand, but after I'm used to doing it on myself, I don't like a practice hand. I just go back and forth on all of that. Well, I think it's been like a week, you guys, and I'm not tired of these. I don't want to clip them off. They're not in my way. They still look great. And keeping them on. Keeping them on. By the time I have my next video, that might be different because that'll be like 2 weeks in or so. Plus, you guys, we got a boat, which is just, you know, like nothing fancy, and I might have mentioned this before. It's just an aluminum thing that we can put in the river. It's a little motor on it, and I have to learn to drive it. And Ness said I have to be the one to learn to reverse it off the trailer and get it into the water, and like get it sitting still there so she can park the truck and then come climb in it. Right here, I'm like, what is going on? Well, look at my brush. Literally, it started drying in there. This just never happens to me. You guys, what is going on? Clear. Yep. And I'll show you guys my towel at some point in the video too. After what I just got out, it's completely stuck together. So at that point I was like, okay, I'm resetting. So I cleaned everything, completely cleaned, brand new fresh, got a completely different brush that I was not using in any rotation at all. The 5th brush for 3 nails, and look at this nail. Does that look like my application? This looks like my application. Sure does. Same acrylic, same monomer. This looks like my application. But by the 3rd finger and 5 brushes in, I am just a mess. This stuff is a mess. I also want you guys to notice, I'm not sure if I show it here, but do you see the tip of this nail? And the free edge, they look yellow. They look dirty, like I have worn them for 3 or 4 days and without top coat, and they've absorbed everything. I was shocked by all of this. So anyway, okay, and I hate saying anything bad about any brand at all, but this was just not an experience I will repeat. I was not happy about this. So, right, we're going to be taking the boat out. Vanessa's got it registered. She's got the oil change and a couple little things that she needed to make sure, like all the electrical, like the rubber hoses and, you know, woo-woo. And she told me I have to be the one to do that. And she said, but not with those nails. I said, what? She goes, well, honey, you can't, you're not going to be able to wear those nails. And I'm thinking to myself, so are you saying I didn't say this, but I'm thinking to myself, so you're saying I have to cut off my nails? Like, cut them off, take them off to go in the boat? Because no. And then we went to Costco this weekend. And I went to grab a case of water, and she comes rushing up, and she's like, no, babe, here, let me help you. I'm like, honey, I can get it. It's okay. She said, not with your nails. And I'm like, what? I grabbed a box of coffee. Same thing. Babe, here, let me help you do your nails. And I'm like, babe, I can pick up a box of coffee with my nails. Like, so cute, so adorable. But then I started thinking, and I told this same story to a friend of mine. Look at the bottom of my dapping dish. 2 beads, and look at the bottom of my dapping dish. No. Okay, anyway, I told this to my friend of mine. I'm like, well, what does she? Maybe she knows something well, she obviously knows something I don't about operating boats, driving them, putting them in the water, woo. And I definitely don't want to be the one to back the trailer and the boat up and down the ramp into the water. No, I'll take the boat part, but she's gonna have to teach me all that. So cool, whatever, but maybe she knows something that I don't as far as you can't do that with nails on. Look at this. Oh, you guys, I was so frustrated. So anyway, I guess it remains to be seen if I can get a boat in the water with nails on. What do you guys think? Perhaps by the next video, I'll let you know. Today's Monday, Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. I hope you guys, anyone who was interested, was able to take advantage of all the sales that were going on out there. I took advantage of one, but I can't remember what right now. I decided to just cut the misery short and not show the rest of the application. But I went through 5 or 6 brushes. But here I'm showing you the discoloration. Do you see this? I don't know if you guys can tell, but don't they look dirty? And look at the application on my middle finger. What? Yeah, I think you can see here it's just dirty. Maybe I never did show you my table towel. I guess not. But they were yellow. I'll just tell you. They were yellow. So I love this bit. I love it so much. I ordered more. I'm taking this at a 22. And I want to show you guys, if you don't know, or if you've heard me say this before, I'm sorry. But look at your nails from underneath. And you can clearly tell where you need to file because of the way, okay, so you see how this one, it looks pretty similar to the way my tip looks, and it looks like I don't need much right here, much taken off the sides, but I do need to do some angling right here because this is straight and I want it to come at that angle I've told you guys about. But look how bulky this is right here. So that's what I need to work on, is, and look at it from this angle. You see how this is bulbous right here instead of straight, and it's not just like crinkly around the edges. Right here it's thick. See right here where it's really much more like from this angle. Look at this. So you can see where your bulk is if you look at your nail from all angles, especially from underneath. So immediately with my e-file up at a high speed and a sharp bit, I'm going to debulk a little, even though this is just a medium bit. This isn't a coarse bit or any like bit I would use to like remove a set or any of that. But I'm going to, this nail needs to be smoothed out, debulked and everything, and just see what a few strokes of that does for it. So you can also see as I'm going here, the nail become whiter. So that staining is just, it was how my table towel looked, yellow. I'm still at 22 RPMs, and I'm just going to continue to do the same thing. Look at the nail from all angles and do some shaping. And you can see from this angle as well that I'm barely laying this bit on my nail. No pressure needed. Sometimes I call it floating. I'm just going to float my bit across, lighter than you would press a file. You're just laying it on there, and the only thing you're doing is controlling it in a downward motion so it doesn't spin off. You don't even need to use any pressure. This avoids heat. It avoids it skipping, and it avoids it gouging your nail as well. I'm sure that's happened as you learn how to e-file. All those things happen just naturally as you're learning. A lot of times, to stay in frame, because I have to have my, I'm sure you guys know, to file your own nails, you have to have them facing you, and you have to get one side or the other. It depends on how you're holding your hand. You have to have a certain angle to get that. Sometimes I have to lay them on the table to do that, to keep it in frame for you guys, number one. And number two, sometimes with a pop-off set, I can't put too much pressure on one side or the other, so I will use the table to keep it steady so that I'm not using, like, none of the pushback from the bit spinning fast, if that makes sense, is going into the nail, like the table's absorbing it. So I'm doing most of the shaping and debulking with this bit. As you can see, it's done very easily, very nice. It's already looking much, much better, but I still need to do a lot of work. I don't normally take a bit to the underside of my nail. Sometimes I thin out my free edge, but this part on my side walls, it's almost never necessary to do because I don't lob it over the sides. But I was dealing with a dirty brush and just, it was hard. This application was hard. Also, this nail ends up almost popping off, and so I do glue it back on by just sticking the brush of some thicky gel, some clear thicky gel, just to use as a glue, just to keep this on until I'm done with the set. And they did pop right off because underneath there is no prep, and underneath there is a pop-off base coat as well. So normally I wouldn't do that to my natural nail, by the way. So I'm showing you here how you can see by laying your nail file flat against the surface of the nail, your sidewall. I can almost stick a whole cuticle pusher in there. So I can see right there that I have a divot or that the nail is not even there. And so I need to file in that area until my E-file is able to be flush up against that side and that little divot disappears. You can still see it right here. As soon as you start filing, your nail starts getting white. Whatever part is like the void, whatever part isn't white or isn't being scratched by your file, still needs to be made flush. So I'm just showing you how to know that, how to tell that, and that you need to keep working on it until it is. That's what I'm doing here. So, all right, let's see. Oh, you guys, do you want me to tell you what acrylic it was? I don't know if I ever show it in this video. I'll wait till the comments to see, because I'm not really about like talking bad about brands or anything, but this was just a wow. Yeah, if you guys want to know, let me know in the comments. So it's starting to look really nice, right? Just from straightening that out, just from debulking a little bit. And wow, that's the AC unit. Hold on. Okay, so this angle here, I paused it on because I wanted you to see that I got that divot out of my sidewall. But that made, and here's the part I mentioned to you, that made the nail on that side flat. So at the arch, so right here where I'm working on, needs to be blended and filed down so that there's not a square, like, so that the nail doesn't have like a square side to it, because I worked so much on that side, I have to round out the top to match it. So that's what I'm showing you here. I'm also showing you that to meet the shape of your tip, because these are coffin, so I'm going to always be looking at my free edge and making sure that the tip does look like a coffin. If you guys, and here's that other motion that I was explaining to you, that sometimes I have to put it on the table because this had popped off or started to. So this is where I was mentioning to you, I'm just going to take a little thicky gel. I'm just going to stick it under there. There's no prep under there. It's not, I'm going to clean it off of my skin with alcohol or swipe. I'm going to clean the whole surface with alcohol or swipe, because I'm going to cure this, and whatever sticks, sticks. Whatever is remained under there to hold it together is just until I'm finished filing and finished with the set, and it's going to pop right off. So that's literally only glue, and I'm showing you here what I see needs to be evened out in the nail. So this whole left side from here all the way down is what I'm going to work on next, as well as the free edge. So that thicky gel, just FYI, I've noticed when I'm doing pop-off, if I have a little lifting and I get my regular nail glue, like Young Nails glue, and put a drop of it under there, it is much harder to get off. Whereas gel doesn't want to stick on a surface you haven't prepped, etc. So I started using gel for that, if that ever happens, which is pretty rare. I mean, this hasn't happened in quite a long time, actually. I think I really had to go at this nail, though, and it was the only one that popped off, so I think that was why. I'm going to show you how I set up my Tammy Taylor files. I stagger them just a little bit. So I'm doing some e-filing and some hand filing here. I absolutely love the grit of these files. It's unmatched. I haven't found it anywhere else, even though I do have other files that are my quote-unquote favorites. I do have other files that are preference or that I also love. And I stagger them like this to be able to get into cuticle areas, corners, that, this and that, etc. Yeah, I'm going to show you here why I do that. This is just my little hack / method of being able to get right up to the cuticle. I didn't want to use an e-file or a heavier file because I had just glued this down. So I wanted to have a little bit more control in this area. I can't remember if it worked or not. I think I might have had to glue it down again, or I can't remember, you guys, if I did or not. So what I did with this set, if I remember correctly, literally, you guys, I've done like 5 sets since then. I'm just showing you the angle I keep it at. Right, that's what I was telling you. I'm just showing you how it's looking so far. The purple set that I'm wearing is a video coming your way. Now, oh, I wanted to show you this. If you look at your nail from this angle, down the barrel, point the free edge at your face, you can clearly see at that point where you need to file to get your coffin shape back. Is it on the left side? Is it on the top? Does it need to be rounded? Did you take off too much? Etc. So that's looking good as far as shape, except for taking a little bit more off. I think I shake my finger no when I thought it was done. Okay, yeah, still I'm going to go in a little bit. So it wasn't good, I guess. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, that little arch right there. I'm telling you guys, it's so helpful to look at your nail from every angle. And everyone says that. And now, I can see that I overfiled my coffin area. Hopefully I show that. I love these bits. I was saying something. I will go back to it, you guys. Don't worry. If you guys haven't gone to profiles and gotten any of their purple sanders, this size or the other size, I'm on 4 to 6 RPM. I'm going to seal this cuticle. Let me see what I was saying here. Right, okay, so I have the purple set I'm wearing, the video for that. This video here, which you guys are obviously viewing. My chisel swatches. And then I did a purple marble set that was inspo from Vanessa's Nails. That's coming up. And I'm also, as soon as I'm done with this voiceover, going to go in and do a recreation of one of V's sets that she just did a few weeks ago. It was a pink nude with some teal and mint, like blossom gel, some croc, a 3D flower that I'm going to do with acrylic. But the kind of 3D flowers that are usually done with gel, like the large ones on the middle finger with the little caviar beads in the middle, with a little bit of color, but not with gel polish. Oh, this is where I think I show you. Oh, I think I'm done. This is looking pretty good until I turn it from the other angle. I think it's either right here or next that I show you guys that. Because I overfiled on the left side. Do you see right there? On the left side of this middle finger, it is either thin or maybe I'm not there yet. I can see it because I know it happened, and I will show you guys when I get there. But I'm going to take this sanding band and on a really low speed just keep going. Let's see. I don't want to keep talking through that if this is the point I'm getting ready to show you guys that, and then miss it because I'm talking through it. And I am going to notice it right here. So the free edge of this nail, the coffin isn't coffining because I've done it a little too narrow on the left side. Do you see that? Right here. No. So I'm going to thin it out. How I usually correct this is I thin it out. Real, just real quick, a little, and then I will file the free edge straight. When I've taken enough off where that is not uneven anymore, in other words, just taking a little bit off of your edge will straighten that out, because you will bring that part that you took, that overfiled part, it basically removes it. And you might have to shorten all your other nails by 1/8 of an inch, but it solves it. So if you ever do that, you don't actually have to get back out your acrylic and add any there or do any of that. You can just, if it's right at the tip right there, and I hope you guys saw what I was talking about, you can just do this. Just thin it out, file it off with your e-file, and then you'll see here in a second that that is better. Always look at it from both angles, because did you see that just a second ago when I was looking at it, it was straight until I turned it around to the quote-unquote client's view, and it looked totally different. And you might have to turn it around 2 or 3 times until it looks the same from both angles. Now that is gone, if you can see what I mean by that. I don't have one side that is filed more than the other. You guys, I don't know if you hear these frogs. Some of the frogs around here sound like birds. Some of them sound like they're whistling. I've never heard anything like it. So that is much better. I don't think it's 100% gone, but it's better. And it does not look the same from both sides, so I'm going to fix that still. That's what I'm trying to convey here. Oh, if you guys put your e-file or your file completely flat on your free edge, it can sometimes just round it off again. I've learned if I tilt it in the way I just showed you, it makes it crispier. And look, there we go. It looks the same from both sides. So I cleaned them up, filed the rest of them, and I'm on to top. They are top coated, finish filed and top coated, and we are ready for our design, which is going to be Frenchies. So I got out my liner brush and my palette, and while I had my liner gel out, I was like, oh, well, just let me try to use this brush. Oh, wait, am I going to do some bling first? Okay, I don't know. And because the brushes that are inside NOTPOLISH's liner gels are so fine, like once you get most of the product off of them, you can do Frenchies with them, draw with them, nail art with them, everything. But I had too much product on it, as you can see right here. So it was not giving me the best result. And looking back, I know what I did wrong, and it was me. It was user error, not the product. Obviously, there's too much gel on this brush. So I'm not going to get a fine line with it because there's too much product on there. And you'll see in a minute that also because there is too much polish on there and I'm kind of pressing too hard. I was just a little impatient because I had already been a little frustrated with the set because of the acrylic. But you can see the contrast in the white here. And okay, so the color of the white acrylic and or milky white or sheer acrylic, whatever color you'd like to call it, against the opaqueness of the white gel kind of gives the acrylic a slight gray look to it, whereas a milky white wouldn't do that. Do you see what I mean? That is the look I'm always going for. Also, looking back, I would have made my Frenchies deeper and not so up high so that more of that kind of gray look showed, because I've been wanting to do this set for like, I don't know, 2 years. I've been seeing and noticing it. Right here, see how I have product on and I'm kind of pressing hard because I'm being impatient. Well, that's going to create air bubbles and it will not like fix itself. It might have self-leveled if I had waited, but at this point I had already screwed up my smile line. I made it too high, even though I think I did it again. I just knew I was doing this sloppy and bad. I had that glob up there by my cuticle, and then it started looking like this, and I'm like, forget it. Just forget it. I obviously don't know what I'm doing as far as using this brush, but you see how fine they are. I know it's possible. So I stopped right here so you guys could see what I was seeing, so why I took it off. And I just decided to use my liner brush, and I did the Frenchie with my liner brush. Showed you the lovely trick this brush does with the smile line and how it just shoop, lets you stay right in your line when you put it back on. See the gray look that it has? So this is the bling I laid out. This takes me forever, you guys, to do this, to get out my bling, to choose which color, to match them to a big one, because these aren't all the same bling. These are 3 different types of bling. The large stone that you see on the left that I'm going to put on my thumb is from Azule's Scoop, and the rest are from Bluestreak. But the 2 from Bluestreak, the large purple ones and the smaller purple ones, are 2 different batches, 2 different mixes, 2 different kinds. But I had to make sure they looked good together, and then I had to arrange them. I wasn't sure if I was going to use AB or purple, or this red purple one that I finally found here that look red from some angles and purple from others, which coincidentally, so did the Azule's stone. So when I found those, I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to use. But how am I going to lay it out? But yeah, it takes me, if I'm going to do a design or 1 or 2 bling nails like I do here, I would say it takes me at least a good hour, pardon me, to go through my stuff, to make a decision, to lay it out, to match the colors. It's a lot. And although this part was relatively easy because I had already laid it out, I just had to get them arranged on my nails. I know that I was feeling frustrated by now, but the set was coming together. It was looking better than I thought because I was so upset with this acrylic. I was over it by this point, but it just wasn't the easiest set to do, although it seems like it should just be easy. You know, because of how simple the idea, the concept, the design is. It's just white on white Frenchies with some bling. It shouldn't be that hard. So, for example, the set that I did, I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but it's a video that's coming up where I did some coffin nails on my practice hand, which was an inspo set from Vanessa's Nails, the purple marble with the Frenchies and stuff, and the 3D flower. I haven't done a 3D flower like that in years, so I was nervous that I wasn't going to be able to do it. So that had me on edge. Plus, I'm recreating someone's work, which I want to do it justice, but I also And I didn't want to put my spin on it at all. My goal was to completely recreate it. Like, if I had all the products, to do it as close as I could to hers. And so the pressure was on, like, in my mind. That set was so easy. I was done in like 20 minutes, besides the shaping and filing. But like the actual application, doing the nails, after I got the Frenchies done, it was like not even a half an hour of just laying the marble, and it was easy. Look at this bling. It can make you cry. So beautiful. Oh my gosh, purple. Anything that's purple. So this is coming together and making me happy at this point. So what are you guys doing with your time? Does everybody work full time? Does everybody do nails, or do you guys just like watching nail channels? Put it in the comments. And let me know what else you guys would like to see next. Like I said, I've got the chisel swatches coming finally after, what, a year? And I'm finally in the swing of things where doing content full time, like I'm on a schedule, I'm pretty much, I think except for maybe one time, posting every Sunday. What? And most weeks, posting twice a week. Are you guys liking that? I've noticed growth. I've noticed more comments, more subscribers. Hi to everyone who's new. Thank you for being here. It's a great group of women. Everyone in the comments. I have not ever received any hate or weirdness, you guys. I've encountered some weird people on YouTube, but only from being on their channels, like finding someone new and running into that stuff over there. I've never had any weird, when I say weird, I mean hate, like rude comments, and I mean, I have had criticism, but I don't consider that rude if it's not said in a rude way, you know. So I didn't know what I wanted to put on these nails. At a certain point, I did decide I wanted these black bows for sure, and some caviar beads for sure, but I wasn't sure if I wanted the middle nail to be different, because all three, the same size 3 black bows did not look right, and I had a bigger black bow, and once I put that in the middle, that looked cute, but it still looked a little too uniform for me, so I was trying out different things. That's what's going on here. Once I hit this one, I was like, okay, it's purple and blue, like my bling. See how the black was cute, but no, I like the purple one better. What do you guys think? Anyway, I just wanted to say that I appreciate every single one of you, because you are all real and genuine and riders and here for the long haul. And anyone that's new, I just want you guys to know that all these ladies that are here in the comments have been with me for a long time. There's never any weird, rude, just anything. And I just love that. I just feel so fortunate for that. And so thank you guys. And I wanted to show you that I have started putting my little sweater sleeve, if I'm going to use it, on before I do my last top coat, because after I do this and my cuticle oil and my finish file that I usually do to the free edge and sidewalls, and I stick my hand through the sleeve, I either get lint stuck to my bling and have to ferret that out, or I don't see it till pictures, then I have to redo the pictures, or the cuticle oil rubs off. Yeah, so it just has been better to wear this first, so it might look strange with me having this on and sticking my hand in the lamp. And I also don't know if I've ever mentioned this, maybe, but unless I forget for some reason, whether it's a Frenchie, top coat, nail art, bling, no matter what it is, unless I just forget, I always do my thumbs separately. I do it first and I do it separately, just for curing. And if this were a set that I was going to wear, or a set on a client, especially them being white, I would have top coated the caviar beads. If you guys didn't know, the silver or gold, actually I'm not sure if it's silver or gold, because when the gold wears off they become silver, so I'm not sure, but definitely for the gold, if you don't top coat them, they will, the gold will wear off, and that does not make a client happy, trust me. So top coat those if you're going to wear them. And another little thing I want to mention here, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it before, I know I've shown it, but you know how, you see how I'm wiping off my sides? Right here. Do you see that? You can gently take your thumb or glove or anything and just take it back if you need to see that again. That part of the gel that you saw me remove, not on my free edge, but actually on the surface right along my sidewall, basically where I have my brush right now. If you see that looking thick, I mean, that's just going to ruin your coffin, completely ruin your coffin, your stiletto. It's okay to just take a little of the thickness off of it. This is sidewall. As long as you look at it before you put it in the light and see that you haven't removed it all. I started doing that, and I've noticed that my shape has been staying. Whereas for so long, you guys, so many years with clients and everything, I would get so frustrated to have gel ruin my final look, no matter how crispy I got the nails. So I'm taking some rubbing alcohol and a lint-free wipe and cleaning up these crystals. And we're at the end of the set, you guys. And again, I talked for 42 whole minutes. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.